Have you ever hung out with someone and in your mind it's a date, but you're not sure if they also think it's a date? What do you do? I'm so excited to get into today's dating dilemma. I'm Talia. Welcome back to Dating Intentionally. I'm loving this series where I get to answer more of your questions here on YouTube, not just on the podcast, which, by the way, you can listen to on any podcast platform if you're trying to figure out how to date without all the stress and the BS. If you have a dating dilemma that you want some clarity on, you can submit it anonymously in the form linked below. Let's get to it. Hey Talia, thanks for all your content and tips. It's been so helpful. I, 31 female, met a cute and sweet guy, 32 male, in real life at a sports event. I decided to shoot my shot and ask him out, and we've gone out a few times. We get along really well. However, from his behavior when we hang out, I'm not sure if he's romantically interested in me or if he just sees me as a platonic friend hanging out. While I'm definitely romantically interested in him, he's a little shy and I don't want to intimidate or scare him off by asking too directly at this early stage. Do you have any tips on how to I should find out if someone I met IRL is romantically interested in me or how I can better signal that these are dates in the future without coming across too directly or coming on too strongly? Thank you. A meet cute matcher. Okay, so to recap, you met this guy at a sports event, you've hung out a few times, but you're not sure if he knows that you are romantically interested in him and you have no idea if he sees you that way too. Whew, you don't want to scare him off. So, in the comments, let me know what your take is. If you're not familiar with my work, you know I prefer a very direct approach. So I'm curious to hear what you would do if you were not as direct as me. There are definitely many ways to go about this, and I'm excited to help our meet cute matcher out. So good for you for shooting your shot, meeting someone at a sports event. I'm going to shamelessly plug my video and podcast on IRL dating because this is exactly what I want to see more women approaching men out in the wild. So good for you. Okay, so I know it's a little late for this for you, but for anyone watching and for you in the future, one tip I love that comes from Erica Etten, she's at a little nudge on Instagram, is that when you're planning a date via text, you absolutely want to be a date, you say, it's a date when you confirm the plan. Like instead of saying, see you then, or that sounds good, in response to confirming a place and time when setting up a date, just say, it's a date. So they know to you that it is, in fact, a date, not just a hang. Okay, but since you've hung out, a few times already, here are some ideas. This is one of the more direct ones. I'm sorry if these are all too direct for you, but like I think this is the best way because hints just don't work. You can straight up be like, "Is this a date?" in a flirty way. Like you can kind of smile and just be like, "Hey, I'm just curious. Like, is this a date?" And see how he responds. Another thing you can do is you can be a little cheeky and you can ask him, "When was the last time you went on a date?" He might be like, "I thought this was," and there's your answer. But if he doesn't take the bait, then you can admit that you want this to be a date. There's always going to be a risk here. Like you revealing you're romantically interested in him is always going to feel a little risky. So to you, you might feel like you're coming on really strong, but it might not be as strong as you think on the receiving end. Okay, but if those are too bold for you, you don't want to do this in person, you can do this via text. You can say something like, I've enjoyed the last few times we hung out, and I guess I wanted to get on the same page. In my mind, I've kind of wanted the times that we've seen each other to be dates. Did you think of them the same way? Direct, not over the top, not coming on too strong. You're just like kind of saying, this is what's been on my mind. This is what's been in my head. Where's your head at? Or you can be like, would you be interested in going on a proper date with me sometime, like dinner, right? So that could be another indication of you maybe not being unsure about if the times you've hung out are dates, and then you're like, "I wanna go on a proper date." So, like, he knows. You can also bring up dating and crushes and stuff as a topic in general, like, the next time you hang out. I'm curious, you didn't say, but, like, have you talked about dating as a topic? Is he single? Like, what do you know about his dating life? Because I think when you get into that topic, you can kind of organically share that you're currently crushing on someone right in front of you. Again, I know it's all gonna feel a little too direct, I understand. Please tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Please tell me if there's another way of going about this. I don't think there is a subtle way of going about this, and I wish the idea of being subtle would just vanish from dating culture because we're not good at picking up hints, and it's so easy to misinterpret something that might be a hint or might not be. That's why I like directness. It's just a lot faster and more efficient, but it is scarier. I wanna remind you, just keep thinking about the fact that you don't have anything to lose here. If he likes you back, he will be receptive to, I think, pretty much any indication that you're into him as long as you do it in a respectful way and you're not just like going for a makeout or something physical without his consent or knowing if he's into it. Like that's not a good route to go at all. If you do make a comment and you take this advice and say something that lets him know that you're interested in him romantically and he shares he's not on the same page, that's okay. This is part of dating and there is this risk here. I know it's scary, but you can do it. So in my experience, like, look, this happened to me a lot in college. Especially I can think of my summer internships where I would meet other guys my age who didn't go to school with me, but like we were all interning together. And I always thought there was a vibe and I wasn't sure, but like usually there just wasn't. What would usually happen in these situations in college is we would be at a party drinking and I would like drunkenly try and make a move or drunkenly try and tell them I'm into them and it just like never panned out. One time I was on the other side where I went to Hawaii by myself and I met a guy at the bar at a restaurant and he was also solo traveling and we traded numbers. And I was at the time I was living in Seattle. It turns out he was from South Oregon. Anyway, we had a fun night. We met up at another hotel bar, just having drinks and chatting, nothing more. And in his mind, he fully thought it was a date. But in my mind, I'm like, no, we live 6 hours apart. I'm not interested in pursuing anything long distance. And I'm trying to remember how that came up. I think he did say something to me like he texted me that he wanted to see me again and I kind of just shut it down. Obviously, your situation is different because you're already seeing each other, but the moral of the story here is that you have to show your cards eventually or you'll just be stuck in limbo forever. Let us know how it goes. If you're watching this, like please let us know what happens. Give us the update. You can DM me on Instagram at dating.intentionally. I love hearing from you. And again, if you have been in the situation in the comments, let us know how it went. Let us know if you have any other ideas for our meet cute matcher to throw up a little signal that she's interested romantically. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more dating advice every week. And of course, don't miss the Dating Intentionally podcast for deeper dives into topics like this. It's available on all major platforms. Once again, I'm Talia, and I'll see you next time.